Yo guys, what's going on? Botsy-chan here, back at you in another video, and today we are going to be going over how to identify your prize cards. Now, the easiest way, well not the easiest way, but the most obvious way is just to, memorize every card in your deck and then figure out what's missing. But to me, is not extremely helpful because not everyone is great at memorization, so instead what I'm going to do is show you guys ways on how to identify your key cards in your deck that you may need during your matches. So here's how I practice identifying my prize cards. I do this kind of like when I'm just watching TV or I'm just sitting around not really doing anything. I just take my deck and I shuffle it, right? And then I draw my 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Kind of like pretend you're setting up for a game here. So we do have a basic, so we do go ahead and we play down that basic. And then I take my prize cards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Pretend you're playing a game, look at, pull up your hand right here. And then you just, draw a card. Okay. So draw. Okay, let's say we played an Ultra Ball, okay? So we discard those Ultra Ball, discard, a Psychic Energy and Hex Maniac, and then look through our deck. You don't have to do this part. You could just, pull out 6 cards out of your deck and then, try to figure it out from there. So the first thing I look for is my Pokemon lineup, which I do have memorized. In this deck, I run a 3-2-3 line of Metagross, and then a 2-1-2 line of Solgaleo, plus 2 Tapu Leles and 1 Scizor. So as you see, 1 Tapu Lele is right here at the bottom, and the other one's in the active. So we have access to all our Tapu Leles, so also our Scizor. 1 Beldum, 1 Metagross, 2 Beldum, 1 Metagross, 1 Cosmoem. So it looks like we have all of our Metagross in here. We are missing 1 Metagross. So 1 Metagross is prized because there's only, I said there's 3 in this deck, right? Or did I say there's 4? There's 3. There's 3 in this deck. So there's 1 Metagross, 2 Metagross. Back it up so you guys can see it. So there's 2 Metagrosses right there. And then the third one is missing. So 1 Metagross is in our prizes, so that's 1 card. Next up, we're going to look for our Solgaleos. Which I don't see any of them in here. So one of our Solgaleos is prized, which really does suck. So after I identify the Pokemon lineup that I'm missing, next I go, so that's 3 prizes we know. We're missing 2 Solgaleos in 1 Metagross. And then next I look for key cards in my deck that I know I have to play. Like I know I like Tapu Lele for a Bridget. I look for the Bridget's there. Next up, I look for my rare candies because it's kind of a staple in this deck, as well as my Skylas. There's 1 rare candy and 1 Skyla. There's 2 rare candies, 3 rare candies, and then the 4th rare candy. So, next up, I would look for something like VS Seeker. I see 1 there. 2. I play 3 in this deck, so let's see if we can find the 3rd one. This is really hard to do through the camera. So I'm missing 1 VS Seeker, 2 Solgaleos, and 1 Metagross. So that's 4 of my 6 prize cards identified off of 1 search. I could probably identify more if I sat here and went through it all. But I'm willing to bet I'm missing 1 Stadium. I'm missing 1 Altar of the Sun. And the other card I think I'm missing is, look at my hand right here real quick. Oh no, we're only missing 1 Solgaleo. Missing 1 Cosmoem, maybe? So let's take a look at our prize card, see how close I was. So there's 1 VS Seeker. We're missing a Hala. And 2 energy, 1 energy. So I identified 3 prize cards off of 1 search. The more you guys do this, I would probably be able to do this more if I did with a deck that I had more practice with and I played with a lot more. If I had done this with my Mega Gardevoir deck, but unfortunately I took it apart before recording this video. I probably could have told you exactly all 6 prize cards because Mega Gardevoir is a deck I've played a lot of. But the more you guys play with the deck, the easier doing this exercise would become. Just picking up your deck right here, and then shuffling it. Like this. Sorry guys, just make sure I get a good shuffle here. You know, then you draw your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? Of course, we didn't get so you have to go back again because we didn't get a basic. You know, you guys don't have to do that whole 7 thing. You guys could just do, you know, this right here. Just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then just look. But I usually like to do like I'm saying for a game. So like again, to recap, redo this. We're gonna look for a Pokemon lineup. So there's 1 Solgaleo, 2 Beldums, Tapu Lele, 3 Beldums, 2 Metangs. I think that's our 4th Beldum. Cosmoa and Metagross. So it doesn't look like we have any Pokemon prized. And then next up I would look for is like things like rare key item cards or key supporters. So like I'm gonna look for right now, I'm looking for like Skyla, Rare Candy, VS Seeker, so 1 VS Seeker, 1 Rare Candy. There's a Skyla. There's both our VS Seekers, there's a Rare Candy. So it looks like we have 1 Rare Candy prize. So if we flip over our prizes, there you go, the 1 Rare Candy, and then a Steel Energy. So overall, like with these prize cards right here, let's see if I can get all of these in the camera for you guys. Overall, these would not be bad prize cards because I run 4 Ns, I run 3 Halas, 2 Lysander, 8 or 9 energy, I think, and then 4 Rare Candies. So these prizes overall aren't horrible. The 2 Ns kind of hurt though because that's a lot of my draw. But like I said, try to do this, you know, just randomly. Like, you know, if you're sitting there playing TCGO and you're waiting for your opponent to take a really long turn, this is a really good exercise to do this with. When you're watching TV or you're just sitting around not really doing much, you just whip out your deck and start, you know, trying to figure out what your prize cards is off of one search. The more you guys do this, you guys won't have to go back and forth like I showed you there. Usually off of one like search like this, I can usually identify half my prize cards in one go. And usually, depending upon the deck, like usually I look for the Pokemon because that's usually the key thing. Because you know you have to attack in order to win, or you have to have Pokemon out in order to win. The next thing I would suggest doing is another helpful tip is to keep a deck list next to you and just, you know, I know I said earlier, you know, memorization's not the greatest, but it does help if you do know most of your deck card for card. Just, you know, practice identifying your prize cards, guys. Will help you not making mistakes. So for example, if I know that where's the other one? So for example, if I know one of these 2 guys right here, my Solgaleo's is priced, which is my main attacker in my deck, I would have to be very cautious with this 1 Solgaleo. I would have to, you know, make sure I use a rescue stretcher to pull it back, or something along those lines to make sure I keep that 1 Solgaleo is up and ready to go. You know, until I pull the second one out of my prizes. Same thing with Metagross. If I know 2 of my Metagrosses are prized at the start of the game, you know, I can, you know, set priorities. I can, you know, make sure I get this 1 guy out, and then, you know, have to, you know, maybe rely on, you know, my Solgaleo to do my damage, and then maybe make it a slower game, or maybe I switch things up and I use my Scizor to attack because it only needs 2 energy and doesn't require me to discard my energy like Solgaleo does. So that's another thing. That's actually will be a whole separate video, I think. Identifying, after you identify your prize cards, how to adapt your play style to play around those prizes. So that's been how to identify your guys' prize cards, guys. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of this down in the comment section down below. And also, what other topics would you guys like me to cover? Let me know. Until next time, peace out. We could actually even grab Sycamore off this Tapu Lele. Let's just go ahead and grab the Tapu Lele. We're gonna hold it because I'm gonna